So lately I've been watching a lot of MLM content and like anti-MLM content, and I feel really upset because the people on TikTok specifically tend to fall for it more easily. I feel like there's a huge community on YouTube, a huge anti-MLM community, but there's not a huge community on TikTok. But as someone who's doing a master's in kinesiology, I have a focus on health psychology, health promotion. I thought I would give a little bit of a psychological lens to MLMs and why they're so dangerous. Okay, so we're gonna go through a series of MLM videos that I found and some posts I found on the Reddit page, and then we're gonna go through it and we're gonna analyze it on a psychological lens, because MLMs, not only are they a scam, but they're so dangerous to mental health, and they're really easy to fall for when you don't know what you're looking for. Okay, so here's the first one.
Is living water.
Electrolyzed reduced water is the most superior water on the planet. It's the most abundant form of natural water in the world, because that's what happens when lightning strikes the lakes, the oceans, things like that. It releases all these electrons. It's called the dissociation of water. And basically what it does is it takes the hydrogen and oxygen bonds and blows them apart. So you get hydrogen, oxygen, hydroxyl ions in a water that is so excited that the molecules themselves spread out more and they can carry more electron charges. And so that is why it's the best water for hydration. It's the best way to carry nutrition. It's the best way to detoxify a cell, because it can get in and out of a cell quickly. Electrically changed water is completely different than chemically changed water. Chemically changed water is reactive in the digestive tract. It builds up in the tissues. It can build up in your kidneys because the calcium, magnesium, potassium builds up in those areas. When you have electrically charged water that breaks the bond, it's the hydroxide that creates the change in pH in relation to hydrogen. Because it's a natural process, it only lasts for a max of 3 or 4 days. It doesn't affect stomach acid because it's a charge that creates the alkalinity, not a chemical. So it won't build up in your system.
So this video is specifically very toxic. So this video is about, if you haven't heard, it's about the Kangen MLM, or I think it's called Enagic. So basically it's this MLM that believes that it creates hydrogen water, pure water. Somehow they think adding hydrogen to it, even though it's H2O, it already has hydrogen, somehow that makes it more alkaline, aka better for you, better for your body. And that is just, don't even get me started on like the misinformation. So the first thing is that the title on this video says Voice of Dr. Michael Donaldson. These kinds of videos are so dangerous because by putting a name on top, such as doctor, it really leads people on who really trust the education system and trust doctors, and it makes you think that, you know, the person who's saying this is a professional and they know what they're talking about. And I hate to break it to you, but not all doctors have your best interest at heart. First of all, this doctor, Dr. Michael Donaldson, he is not a medical doctor, he's a PhD graduate. And not saying there's anything wrong with that, PhD graduates are still doctors, but this doctor is known for pushing a lot of pseudoscience. So he published a study some time ago which had a conflict of interest, obviously. The study was correlating nutrition and cancer, and obviously he believes in the raw food diet, you know, juicing, things like that. His study found that eating more raw foods reduces the risk of stomach cancer, different kinds of cancer, stuff like that. But the thing is that his study was funded by his own organization, which is the Hallelujah Acres Foundation. And that's a huge conflict of interest. Obviously, if he's trying to shill his own diet, he's gonna fund papers to try to support that, right? Plus, his study is a review. It had no methodology. You know, he's published countless studies like that. There's no scientific backing to what he does. And a lot of his studies are not reproducible. So basically, this video is a clear example of a psychological phenomenon called blind obedience. Blind obedience occurs when someone unquestionably follows the authority or the directions of someone they consider to be an authority figure. So in this case, the doctor was considered to be an authority figure, and that's very dangerous because we as human beings, we automatically want to believe doctors, right? They're like the doctors are considered knowledgeable in our society, right? But at the same time, we don't know a lot of information about this doctor. And Dr. Donaldson, in this case, his past research studies were very questionable, so his track record in that is not great. So why should we believe him when he already pushes a raw food diet, which we already know? And there's been countless literature and studies sharing that a raw food diet is not healthy for you. And that's coming from someone who's vegan. Like, you need to eat a balanced diet. And a raw food diet is not something that is considered balanced. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Okay, this one was especially heartbreaking because in this economy, we already know that a lot of people faced financial struggles. And by indicating that, you know, you're spending this much money, the average person is spending this much money on bottled water, which, where is that statistic even coming from, right? We have to think about that. You're really impacting a person's mental health by inducing financial stress on them, right? This is how MLMs get you. At the end of the day, they really target what you're insecure about and what people are struggling with, and they target that. They make you feel like you're spending unnecessary money on this thing, but you should spend money on this other thing instead. Kangen Water is expensive. It's in the thousands, and a lot of these distributors have to take out loans in order to purchase them. So not only are you creating financial stress, but that financial stress is really not necessary. Like, water is a basic right. By comparing bottled water to a Kangen system, which is an incredibly expensive filtration system that is based off of pseudoscience, but at the same time, you're not comparing it to tap water, which is free? I don't understand. Like, why are you comparing bottled water as if people buy bottled water? That's another example of financial stress. That plays a huge impact. That's how they emotionally get you, and that's so devastating on people's mental health. They feel like they're spending so much money on things that don't need to be spent money on. These distributors are making them feel as if they're making wrong financial choices. But at the end of the day, you have to remember that the Kangen system and Magic, it's an MLM. Its job is to try to sell you something. There's no scientific proof behind it. Alkaline water does nothing. The chemistry behind water is that if you drink something that's alkaline, your body is going to automatically neutralize it. So it's not going into your cells the way these people want you to believe. Okay, let's go on to the next one.
This is 9.5 alkaline water from my Kangen machine. This is the only medical grade water ionizer in the world, first only existing in Japanese hospitals. It is a living, structured water created through the natural process of electrolysis and contains molecular hydrogen. Molecular hydrogen exerts biological effects on nearly all organs. It has antioxidative, anti-inflammatory, and anti-aging effects.
Okay, again, this video is using big words. It's hoping to confuse you because it's hoping you don't understand what's going on. I hate videos like this. It's like, as someone who's doing a Master's of Science, the information already is so inaccessible. I feel like a lot of journal articles are written so that other scientists can understand them and not the average layperson. So where are these people supposed to get their news from, right? They're supposed to get them, you'd think they're supposed to get them from other reputable sources, but you can't blame them from getting them from misinformation videos like these TikTok videos or random news articles and stuff like that. You can't blame them. They're a victim in this situation, and these people are making them feel like they're uneducated and they don't understand what's going on because they're kind of spouting all the scientific knowledge that, if you really look into it, is not true at all. Okay, now we're gonna go over this photo I found on the anti-MLM Reddit page, and it says, "Today only, you can get a free bag of our amazing Gush Extreme. Need energy, fat loss, appetite control, metabolism boost, mental clarity, mood enhancement, athletic performance, and more? Drop Gush below and I will take care of you." Like, okay, there is so much to unpack here. A lot of MLM reps I found tend to convey this scarcity mindset, which is basically like a mental state of feeling as if there is a lack of resources, there's a lack of money, there's a lack of time. So a lot of these MLM reps will make you feel like there's limited resources or spots available. Like in this post, he said, "Today only, like you can't message me tomorrow. This is only for today." When I can guarantee you can definitely message him tomorrow. It's so sad because, again, this is a form of manipulation, because the scarcity mindset really has the ability to heighten someone's stress. The fear-mongering on these videos are absolutely insane, you know? Do not fall for these MLM tactics, okay? There's a lot of psychological principles that are being used, and it's so subconscious you don't even know that it's going on unless you research about it and you understand things like scarcity mindset, confirmation bias, the Dunning-Kruger effect. You know, you have to really understand these things. I'll make more videos on breaking down the psychological principles that are used in these MLM videos and how it can help you guys, you know, raise awareness and understand what you're seeing and try to kind of educate and make sure you guys don't fall for it as well. Thank you so much for watching. If you're interested in science or spirituality, please subscribe below. I'd really appreciate it. And have a good day.